we are looking at more major snow possibly for the northeast now, with possibly up to 8 to 10 inches plus of snow for the far northeast states like Maine, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts area, New Hampshire, even, and even Rhode Island could see anywhere between 6 to 8 plus inches of snowfall totals. And we could even have more major snow across areas in Minnesota and Iowa, in Illinois and Indiana. In about 5 to 7 days, we could have another major snow event. Two models are agreeing on another major snow event for these areas, possibly with 2 to 4 inches plus of more snow expected in about 5 to 7 days. We are still having some snow in areas in Indiana and Ohio and even northern Kentucky that is starting to move out into West Virginia, Virginia areas, PA, New York, all these areas, Vermont, Massachusetts areas, all these areas in the northeast are starting to get the snowfall totals, and we could very much see very major effect snow for these areas. We have already had school cancellations and 2 hour delays for Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, and we still have another inch or two of snow expected for these areas. Let's break it all down right now. Here is one weather model. This is our American long-range weather model, showing anywhere between 2 to 3 inches for Ohio total snowfall. This is a few hours behind, but this has already fallen in Ohio. We are still expecting another inch or two of snow for Indiana and Ohio. By the time this video comes out, that likely will not be the same anymore, but we are looking at possibly 6 to 8 inches plus of snow in areas in the northeast like Rhode Island, Connecticut, Vermont, Massachusetts, Maine, New York, even Pennsylvania could get up to 5 to 6 inches of snow. We are looking at a more major lake effect snow for these states. There has already been tour delays and school cancellations across much of the Midwest and Indiana, Illinois, and Ohio areas. And we are looking at possibly more school cancellations as the snow moves into these areas in the northeast like PA and New York, Vermont, Massachusetts. So if you guys are in this area, make sure you guys are not driving if the roads are slippery, and make sure you guys have your tap water on, anything like that, and are warm. But we're looking at major lake effect snow, like I said, for the northeast now. We already had major lake effect snow for the Midwest. That's still going on as the time I'm recording this video. About an inch or two of snow has already fallen across areas in Illinois, Indiana. Sorry, not an inch or two. Around 3 to 4 inches has already fallen, and about 1 to 2 inches is still expected for areas in Indiana and Ohio. And we could get more school cancellations. I've already heard that there has been some school cancellations and 2 hour delays for Ohio and Indiana and Illinois areas from this lake effect snow. And we could very much well have that happen across the northeast, like I said. Let's look at a different model, though. We're going to look at a few different models in this video. We're going to look at the Euro model now. Here is the Euro model. We are looking at the latest Euro model run with 24-hour snow totals. And we can see we have, like I said, already 3 to 4 inches already in Ohio, possibly an inch or two more. And in the northeast, the Euro also agrees with about 3 to 5 inches of snow, isolated areas of 6 inches of snow in the northeast, and areas such as Connecticut, Vermont, Massachusetts areas. In Maine and New York could very much well get some isolated 6-inch areas of snow. For example, the Euro model has Connecticut getting that, sorry, not Connecticut, guys. I mean Rhode Island getting that 6 inches of snow isolated right there. That could very well much change as this video comes out. Actually, this is just one model outcome. Like I said, the GFS model, the other model I showed at the beginning, that has 8 to 7 inches of snow across the northeast. So we'll sort of see how this plays out. Let's go look at another weather model. Let's go look at our Canadian weather model. Here is our Canadian weather model. Again, showing isolated actually 8 inches of snow in some areas in western Ohio, Indiana. But we're still expecting an inch or two, like I said, in Ohio and Indiana areas as the snow heads out. By the time this video is out, the snow has most likely already been gone. But it still does show 8 inches for a lot of the far northeast states. Is showing 8 inches, a long pass of 8-inch snow. So we very well could have a major lake effect snow event. That's 2 models now that we just looked at that are showing 7 to 8 inches plus of snowfall totals across these areas. This is also our 24-hour snowfall. That's 8 inches of snow in 24 hours. That's insane amounts of snow. Very could cause a lot of travel issues. Hopefully everybody is home from Thanksgiving and is safe on the road. If you are driving, make sure you are very safe and do not drive on slippery, icy roads. If you're in a state level snow emergency, make sure you do take that seriously and do not drive on these dangerous roads. I personally am in area in Central Ohio, and I've measured 3 inches of snow outside, and I'm in a level 1 snow emergency right now, and I'm still expected to get 1 to 2 inches more of snow. There's been school cancellations in near my city also, with 2 hour delays at least. But definitely looking at a major liquefied snow event that already hit Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, and even northern Kentucky, that may now impact West Virginia, and these northeast states. We can look at our short-range HRRR weather model also. Here's the 24-hour snow totals on this model, still showing that 1 to 2 inches of snow for central Ohio and Indiana areas, and also agreeing with that 7 to 8 inches of snow for this far northeast state. So that's 3 models now that have had the same outlook with this long pass of 8+ inches of snow in these areas such as Vermont, Massachusetts, Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut areas, showing 8+ inches of snow possibly for these areas, not Connecticut. Connecticut is expecting about 1 to 2 inches of snow for Connecticut, mainly get some rain for Connecticut, but that's 3 miles now showing the exact same thing, this wide line of just 8 inches of 24-hour snow totals. We're going to look at one other weather model, and then I'm going to go over what we can expect over the next couple of days. Here is the NAM weather model 24-hour snow totals, showing exactly the same thing except for it's going a little bit overboard. This is showing 1 feet to 2 feet of snow for areas in Vermont and Massachusetts. That is insane amounts of snow, but this is the 4th model that's showing this long line of 8+ inches. This actually has 8+ inches going down into areas in Pennsylvania and New York. This would be very significant if we got 16 inches of snow. I highly doubt it's going to happen. This is just 1 model outcome. What I would expect is possibly another inch or 2 of snow for Ohio and Indiana. That may have already happened by the time this video comes out, as I'm recording it at 5 a.m. But we still will get that snow by the time you guys wake up in areas in Pennsylvania, New York, Maine, Vermont area, Massachusetts. Areas will start getting that snow, and you guys could get anywhere between 1 to 9 to 10 inches of 24-hour snow totals. That's just a huge estimate just based off all the models I just looked at in this video. That's just a huge estimate on what they are showing. Because this is the big outlier. The NAM model is a big outlier with 16 inches of 24-hour snow totals. That would be insane. It cause a lot of travel issues. Hopefully that does not happen. We do not want that much snow. But likely we'll get some cool school cancellations just based off these models that I just looked at. We just looked at, what, 5, 6 weather models now? And they're all agreeing on a lot of snow for Pennsylvania, New York, and the Northeast. So that is going to be all for those areas for today and tomorrow, which is Tuesday into Wednesday. We are going to now look at the GFS in Euro model and see what they are showing for the future days, as we are going into a fairly active winter pattern. Let's go look at that. We're going to look at our 24-hour total snowfalls on the GFS model. We get a little bit ahead time. Let's see. Go into around the 6th. We are seeing snow and more snow, about 3 to 7 inches of snow for areas in South Dakota, and even areas in Nebraska getting snow. It is showing, the GFS is showing that we will have another major winter storm, possibly lake effect snow event, on the 7th to 8th for the Midwest, the northern states, Midwest, and even the Northeast again on the 7th. This is about 5 days out, so this is very much could happen. Not as much snow as this event, but definitely still around 1 to 3 inches, 1 to 4 inches of snow for Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio areas, and possibly snowfall totals in 24 hours in areas in South Dakota and Nebraska areas, and even Iowa could see up to 8 total 24-hour snowfall totals according to the GFS model. We're not going to go much farther out than that because after we go that far out, it's just not as accurate. We're going to look at the Euro model now, though. Here's the 24-hour snow totals on the Euro model. I'm going to see if it shows that same thing from the 7th. So it actually shows a little bit of an early one that GFS does not pick up on. Possibly some more 1 to 2 inches of snow, 1 to 3 inches of snow for areas in West Virginia, Virginia, and Kentucky on the 6th. So that would be in 4 days. That's just the Euro showing that, though. Euro also agrees with the GFS. It does not show as much snow, nowhere near as much snow. And it shows that more to the east for areas like Minnesota and far eastern South Dakota and Iowa, getting snowfall totals such as 4 to 5 inches of snow. So showing that snowfall totals areas, but then it's actually showing another major lake effect snow event, possibly on the 10th. So that would be in 8 days. That's way too far to be concerned about. But once we go to past here, past that 8 day, past that 7 day mark, that's when it gets very, very inaccurate. So we're not going to go over that in this video at least. We'll look at that once the time gets closer. But we are looking at 1 to 4 inches of snow for Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa areas in these central areas in these states, and even some 1 to 2 inches of snow for far eastern South Dakota and southern Minnesota possibly by the 7th. So this is in about 5-6 days. So once we go past the 7 day mark, which is the 9th, we would not want to trust that much, that's kind of just la la land at that point. It's definitely a sign that we could have something, but it's not 100% sure. You want to take that with a big grain of salt at that point. That's going to be all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more forecasts.